What is going on, everyone? I'll try something a little different here, and we're going to talk a little bit about options. I'm going to share with you a couple ideas I have for options, a little bit about my trading, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you my current positions and some ideas that I have that I'm putting some trades on, and kind of what I'm thinking in the next couple months because we are turning around in fall season here and Christmas is not that far along, and our market has been crazy. So I'm looking for opportunities. And if you're also an options trader, and if this interests you, please let me know down below if you'd like to see more of this kind of stuff. Just to let you know, transparency, this is my cash account. It is a six-figure account, and this is what I'm currently in. And it's a real account. It's not fake. It's not sim. I have other accounts, but this is one that I've decided to share with you guys. And you're happy to copy these trades if you want to, but just know this is for education purposes only. And please note that if you don't know how to trade options, don't trade options. It can be extremely risky if you don't know what you're doing. But a lot of the trades I do are both defined risk and undefined risk. And I won't go into too much details of what those two different options mean, but just know that I try to keep my risk to a tolerance based on my account size and also how much pain I can endure. So, with that said, let's take a look and see what kind of business positions I have on now. So, starting at the top here, you can see the ZB. So I currently have this vertical on the call side, 121, 123. If we look at this, let's see what we got. Tasty Trade is really cool about the analysis tab, and you can see and visually, like I'm a visual learner, so you can visually see, where am I going to lose money, where am I going to make money, and what is my probability as well. And one of the things in options is something called theta decay. So theta decay is basically how much money I make a day based on my current positions. So it's great to see those kind of metrics. So you can see here that I've had this on for a couple of days now. Let's see. I've had this at least a week. Where does it show? I really can't remember, but I've had it on for a while. We have 31 days to expiration. So I'm going to hold this for at least another 5 or 6 days. You can see my profit potential is pretty good if I hang in there. And if you haven't used this tool before, you can go here, go to analysis, and you can click and kind of forecast what happens each day. And let me click something. Okay. Sorry, I had to readjust my settings, but basically, we need to make sure that we take our profits, and we're not going to hold this too long. But this is a bond play that I'm holding on to for maybe another day or two. I kind of want to take it off. Bonds have been low; they rallied now. I kind of want to rotate into a different bond play. What else do I have here? We got the Qs. I put an iron condor on the triple Qs. This is a trade that actually one of the Tasty Trade folks put on. I just put on one contract. It's a slow burn iron condor. It's a great defined risk, but it takes a while to make some money. And if we look at this one, go to analysis, go to today, and we zoom in a little bit. If we kind of play the system and say by next week we start getting more in the money and IV starts dropping down, we can maybe make about, that's for November. So maybe next week we'll be up a couple $100. We'll see. But our max amount is not that much. So we have to keep that in mind. We're not going to hold it till expiration. I mean, 500 some bucks. It's not bad. I mean, for one contract, it's pretty good, but we got to stay in this range. And depending on what the Qs do in the next couple of days, is going to depend on what I do for this. If it goes outside my expected area, if we hit 620s, then I'm probably going to just take it off and redo it or do something else. I might actually do that sooner. I might actually just take this off for a small win once it gets profitable and reset it. I just don't like it. The market could rally, and anything can happen with the Qs. This SCHD is just a dividend stock. I don't know what it's there. I need to get rid of it, but it's one of those micro shares, and they're hard to get rid of. So just there for a couple shares. XPX, let me come back to that in a minute. T-bills are great. I actually got some family members in T-bills, and all this is basically a treasury ETF. And the great thing about this is that what it does, you buy into the entry, and then every month it resets to the 49.95, whatever it is, and you just collect the payout, the cash difference, and the dividend. So every month it pays out just like interest. So it's like 4 to 5% interest that you get back as cash, and it reinvests. I have it set up to reinvest into T-bill. So I bought 900 shares, and it's given me 6 shares for free. So it's paying for itself, right? It's a compounding type thing. It just keeps paying interest. So, and then XRP, man, XRP. So I've been buying a lot of crypto lately. Maybe it's something I shouldn't be doing, but I've been really bullish on crypto. And the reason why is because when the institutions get into crypto, this is when I want to get into crypto. So I'm going to do whatever those institutions do. If they're buying ETFs, they're creating ETFs, really putting a lot of money to work in the crypto field, I want to be part of it. And XRP is one of the ones that's like, to me, the top 3. You got Bitcoin, you got ETH, XRP. And then fourth, you have Solana. And that's really the only ones I care about. The other ones are just kind of noise to me. I own a little bit of Bitcoin. So I have a Coinbase account like everyone else in the world, seems like, where I keep some other crypto and do some staking and stuff like that. But really here, I haven't really been building a position in this account for crypto. And the way Tasty Trade works is I've been learning it from a buddy is that, it's 0 fees, but it's based on the price. So basically they'll undercut the price of your entry to pay for the fees for crypto here. So keep that in mind. Even though you see 0 fees, it's still, they're taking a cut off the price. So them being the market maker, you're not going to get the best price per se, unless you want to go somewhere else for a larger sum. But yeah, you can see I got 4,000 XRP there. I've been buying into it. I got an order when it drops to 2 to buy it, because if it does drop, I want to be able to get a good entry, and I plan to hold this to at least $3 again when it comes back up to the 3 area. And hopefully it'll go past that and we can make some money. So yeah, some buying that, bullish there. Let's go to the SPX. So XPX is my bread and butter. Last year I made a lot of money on the SPX. This year I've been down a little bit because of one trade. And most of my trades are calendars and butterflies, iron condors, credit spreads. You can see here I got 2 calendars on and a butterfly. I put this butterfly on today. As we were going down in the market, I was thinking that it was going to crash, and now we're up 10 points. So what I want to do is I kind of want to put a hedge on. I want to put another butterfly on like this. I paid like $1.70, so $170. If I'm wrong, then whatever. I'm going to take this off because I think I am wrong, and I actually wanted to do a hedge to the top side. In other words, if the market keeps going, say 20, 30 points, I want my butterfly to be broken up on that top side. So I'm going to do one here with you guys. And I don't like this butterfly, to be honest with you. So I might just close it. I'm going to let it simmer. So let's see. A lot of times when the market goes up and down like this, at the very end of the day, it might drop or it might spike. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. But for now, let's do a Let's do another butterfly. Now I want to have this till Friday, and the reason why is because Fridays are, to my experience, sudden death days where the market tends to crash. And if we have some fluctuation in the week, I believe Friday is going to be the day where we sink. Okay. And I don't want it to sink, but if it helps my butterfly and if it helps my trades, because right now, these SPX calendars, they're a little bit, inflated. They're a little bit, they're on the downside. In other words, my entries on these are about 50 to 100 points down below. So we need to drop about 50 points for this to be profitable. So this butterfly here doesn't really hedge my account for those calendars. So let's see, Friday is going to be the 24th. So so Tasty Trade has this cool little feature here. You can, put butterflies on, and let's see. If we move it down like this, I like to play with this a little bit. The only problem is it doesn't do a good job of figuring out your current butterflies. So you got 3 days there. You always got to make sure you're looking at the right ones. No, I don't like that. Let's start with the regular butterfly. Okay. And reset our time here, because that's what's throwing me off. Go back here. No. Don't want that. No, I don't like that either. Let's see, 66.85. Actually, we're doing the wrong side again. We want to come down, or up, sorry. Oops. So this little yellow mark here is the expected move based on I think it's the Shoals model. And I'm just taking this is all speculation, so don't quote me on this. So my max loss here would be $240. My max profit of $1,240, and that's only if that $1,200 only if I had that little tip of that cone. If you look down here, you can see if it goes past that, right? Say we rally to 68.30, my max profit is like almost $300. My last loss is $200. So, but if we sit around here, 68.10, let's see, that's another 60 so points to get there. I mean, technically, with the government shutdown, you have to think of the news events, right? Are we going to rally on some of these news events? And it's very possibly we will. We also have a Fed cut coming in, but this Fed cut is already baked in. So I actually do think that we're going to fall. The market's been kind of toppy, so I do think we're going to fall. But if we do rally, how much do I want to make to hedge my bets? So I do kind of like this. I just wish I can get the risk down or the cost down a little bit. Let's see. That's really just a straight butterfly. That's too expensive. 68.10. Let's move it down to, say, straight 6,800. 245. That's not much better. It's actually worse. So $200. So if we rally, yeah, I mean, we could rally, and then let's think about this for a second. All right. Where are we at? We're at 67.48. We're right here. There's a little flag. Can we make up another 50 points or so? I think so. Um, Government shutdown news. If it does happen, it's going to definitely help the market a little bit. But then you got the Fed coming with their news. So, for $200, we can always take it off, say at $100 loss, and that's enough for me. I just want it's very speculative. It's a fun trade. Say we rally 50 points by tomorrow, next day, right around here. Hey, that's a you know, pretty good gamble. This is just a fun gamble for me, really. So if you're doing this, your max loss would be $230. Let's do it. $230. There we go. That was pretty quick fill. A little too quick. Let's see what we got here. So we got these. Let me merge these. Group. Butterfly. Butterfly. Let's close this. This one I don't like. Close it. Right, lost that. Okay, that scared me a little bit. Sometimes Tasty doesn't calculate the loss really well. All right, guys. So that's what we did. We closed that butterfly I didn't like. We put on this new one, and looks like we're up 12 on the SPX. So it's going to float around here a little bit. It's going to help out some of the hedge on my calendars that are taking a loss. This one's fine, but this one I'm a little worried about. I'm going to probably take that off at. I try to keep my losers max a couple $100 on these calendars, and when they go right, they go really well. And so far, it's been working out really well. So let's hope that they stay that way. For now, the SPX is good. Don't have any other trades. If what I'll do is I'll upload this here today, and then you guys can take a look at it. And if you're still in the market, you can see I think we're coming down. To be honest with you, we're up 10, but I don't know. I think with the gold, well, let's put it this way: the gold literally dropped 200 points, and typically whenever I see gold drop, I see the S&Ps rally. It's typically how those kind of correlate. But today it's been a little bit of an oddball, so I'm kind of playing it safe. But for now, we put on a butterfly. That's the one trade we did. We closed the butterfly that was for a small loss, and then we're just holding the rest. And I'm hoping that XRP kind of rallies on some of this news coming out, and I might buy more. But if I do, I'll try and update and let you guys know. That's pretty much it. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you later.